gonna be a stressful video for me, and so I just had to wear my boys. They're here, Mia is my emotional support, and God knows I'm gonna need it. Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin and welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who might not already know this, I am, or I guess we're kind of on rocky grounds at the moment, a very big Dove Cameron fan. I have worn my Dove Cameron merch, the Property of Dove Cameron sweater, in numerous videos throughout the years. Basically ever since 2015 when Descendants came out, I was hooked. I just fell in love with her as an actor, a singer, a person, just like her whole energy. I was like, yep, I need to stan. And I feel like any fan who has been around for that long, or maybe even longer, you know, Liv and Maddie came out in 2013, which is almost 10 years ago, which is crazy to think about. But my point is, any fan who has been around for that long knows that following Dove's music career has kind of been a wild ride. And before we can really get into like what this video is really about, we kind of have to do a little bit of a backstory on Dove's whole music career overall. And so let's jump right into that first. So her music career first began in 2014 with her ex-fiance Ryan. They had a band together called The Girl and the Dreamcatcher, and like just speaking on their music alone, like I loved them. That EP still holds a very special place in my heart, and I feel like if anyone is curious as to why their relationship did fail, I would just recommend listening to their song Cry Wolf, because I feel like it just perfectly demonstrates maybe some of the problems that they had in their relationship and some of the toxicity that was there. But nonetheless, they broke up in 2016, and so then the band did as well, obviously, and so it's basically been ever since then that we've been waiting for solo stuff from Dove. And I feel like she really started teasing her solo career in 2017. I used to get her tweets to my phone, and I just feel like I remember it being constant. Like she would constantly be talking about all the songs that she's working on and what is to come, and there was one single in particular that I remember so clearly that was called Talks About. I remember snippets she used to post on Instagram and Snapchat of the song. Like I still can remember like the melody of the chorus of the song, even though it was never released. I was actually able to find one of these snippets on YouTube, which I'll play now if I can.
It's in my heart is praying, baby it won't shine, baby it won't shine. Oh man!
And if that wasn't enough, I even remember there was a billboard for it in New York City promoting it as Dove Cameron's debut single. But nonetheless, a year goes by and we still have nothing. In March of 2018, she tweets that we will still get Talks About, even if it is not the first single that she does release. But then later that month, we find out that she is now signed to Disruptor Records, which is part of Columbia Records. And then another year goes by and we finally hear about Talks About again, but this time it's her telling us that actually we don't want it, which is fine. Like obviously she's allowed to change her mind, and she's recorded other stuff, which she obviously likes better than Talks About, and now that she is with this other label, like who even knows if she owns Talks About anymore. But the problem with this, which is kind of like a main theme in this video, which is that she just shares way too much. She digs herself into these holes and then she doesn't know how to get out of them. This brings us to September 2019, where Dove releases her debut EP, Bloodshot and Waste, and it's just like finally, like we've been waiting for this for over 4 years and it's just perfection. And then just a couple months later in November, Dove releases her second single, or I guess third if you want to include Waste, with So Good. And then the next month we get Out of Touch after she teased it on her Instagram with just that iconic video, and it's just like things are great, like things are finally happening and I love to see it. Then we don't get anything until April 2020 when she releases Remember Me with the artist Bia, and then just a couple months later in July she releases We Belong, which is also featured in the trailer and I think the movie as well, the new After movie that was coming out around that time, so I think it was the second one, I'm not really too sure, but that song I feel like did pretty well, which was just great to see. And then 9 months later she releases Lazy Baby after teasing it a bunch online and basically leaking the song entirely when she does this one Instagram live with her best friend Veronica where they're jamming out to the song. And then this brings us to December of last year when my nemesis boyfriend was born. So December 18th she posts a snippet of the song on TikTok and nobody really cared. I mean, like obviously us fans cared, but like it didn't really blow up yet. And then again in January she posts another snippet of this song, but this time it goes viral, and so Dove and her team rushed to finish this song quickly and then release it in February of this year. And then due to the song's success on TikTok, it just immediately does well. Like the following week it's number 15 on the Spotify global charts, and then because of this, either Dove or her team or a combination of the two decide to remove all of her songs pre-Boyfriend that they own from every streaming platform. So now all that's left from Dove is Boyfriend, the work that she's done with Disney, and this song called Taste of You that she did with this DJ called Rez. And so at this point all of the fans start freaking out. We're like, what is going on? Are these songs gone forever? Are they going to be coming back? Was this Dove's decision or her label's? Like, should we be upset about this? I thought that maybe they were scrambling to put an album together after this song's success. They were like, oh wait, we we can save these songs and release them as a part of an album. Like, that's what I thought was going on. Nonetheless, I still joined in with the fans, tweeting the label, tweeting Dove, commenting on all our posts like, girly, where are your songs? Please address this, what is going on? But it was basically radio silence from Dove. She would come online to post about the success of Boyfriend, and then she would just disappear, which kind of made the whole thing worse. And then finally, a month after her songs have disappeared, Dove does an interview with Official Charts UK in which somebody finally asks her where her songs have gone. And I'll put her response up so you can pause if you want to read it, but I feel like the main takeaways is that she says that her old music was her trying to find her sound. It was who other people wanted her to be or who she thought she had to be instead of who she actually was, and that there is more music to come that will represent her a lot better. And so at this point, I was just like, oh my god, like these songs are gone forever and we're never gonna get them back, and I was just honestly devastated to say the least. And so now I just wanted to go back and go over every song that was deleted and see how she felt about them back then, and just go over the themes of each song and see if they truly don't represent her anymore. And before people comment, because I know that they will, that she's talking more about like the sounds of the songs than the themes of them, the whole comment she makes about like representing her versus who she thought she had to be makes it encompass both the sounds of the songs and the themes of the songs. But nonetheless, I just kind of want to understand her better, and so yeah, let's go back in time and see how she used to feel about these songs that she has now deleted. So starting off with her debut, Bloodshot and Waste, in a Teen Vogue interview she did around the time that these songs were released, she says that they highlight two very different sides of her. She talks about loss in Bloodshot and an all-consuming love in Waste. She said that they not only represent who she is, but it also allows her fans to connect further with her music. And I actually had the honor of seeing her live during her first little mini tour earlier this year, and so let's see what she had to say about Bloodshot back in October when I saw her.
I think a lot of people have told me that the song means breakups and long distance and loads of different things to them. But this song to me, obviously, is about loss. Death kind of loss. Yeah, collective thought. Oh well, it's a, yeah. You know what? Life is long, life is broad. There's a lot of loss, but that's okay. Listen, hey, we're all here with family. So this song really helped me in a time where I was trying to kind of reconcile that strange dissonance between when you go to sleep one night in one world and you wake up the next morning and the world's entirely different. And that's why that lyric, I've said this before, but that lyric, the colors are different for and beautiful, really means so much to me. Because if anybody in this room has been through any trauma or loss of any kind, you know that sensation when you wake up and you think, wow, this is not the world I went to bed in. This is not the world I've woken up in for how many years I've been alive, right? And just that kind of like lonely feeling of going through that alone. Even if someone's sharing in that loss, there's no overlap there. It's an entirely unique individual experience to lose someone. And that's really what inspired Bloodshot, was just that kind of feeling of being like, yo, I know I'm not good, but I have to wait this out. I gotta like be here with this pain. So here we go. This is Bloodshot.
So I was shocked, to say the least, to find out that this song no longer represented her, when just 6 months ago she was standing in front of me telling me and everybody else that was in the crowd about how much this song does represent her and how much it means to her. Like, I feel like out of all the songs that she has deleted, this one just really shocked me the most. But I mean, I guess it is possible that she was lying back then, or she's lying now about what this song means to her, but as we all know, that can't be the case because Dove Cameron never lies.
Oh, I'm serious. I never litter and I never lie, because I think it's bad business. I think it's bad for your soul.
So that was Bloodshot, but she did also talk a little bit about Waste, as well, as it had just been 2 years since the song had been released.
Okay, so this next song is Henner's birthday. And we love her. She's still one of my all-time favorites. And it's a song about being so in love with someone that you feel like you would tear your skin off just to get a glimpse of them. We know, we've been there. We love it. We love the drama. And also just a song about someone being like unbearably fucking hot. So here we go. This is Waste.
So I don't know about you guys, but to me it does sound like she did really love this song. Like, she called it one of her favorites, and just everything that she said in that video I feel like sounds super genuine. But nonetheless, let's move on to her next track. So like I said earlier, the next song she released was called So Good, and in an interview with Rain, she says that what she liked about this song was that it was a feel-good track but with some edge to it. And in most of the interviews I found with her talking about this single, she seemed to be focusing more on the collaborators that went along with it. She co-wrote this song with a few other people, Julia Michaels being a standout for me personally, and she says that they were all brilliant songwriters. She would also focus heavily on the makeup artist that she had for the music video, as she had saw his work and was blown away and reached out to him personally to do her music video.
This was very much the kind of thing that happened naturally. Like, I found Cupid through actually something he did with Laura Harrier for V Magazine, and I saw that and I was like, oh, how did they do that? And then I was like, you know, incredible visuals done by Cupid's Fault, and I messaged him and I was like, I'm obsessed with you. Can you come and do something with me? And then at the same time, I texted my label. I was like, I'm obsessed with this guy. Can we find a way to work with him?
And so I think that in particular is really interesting because the songs aren't just gone from like Spotify and Apple Music, like the music videos are gone from YouTube too, which is just really disappointing because it sounds like this music video in particular was just a big passion project for her. And obviously I wasn't filming every second of the concert and she didn't do an intro for every single song, but she did say this about So Good once a fan called out about how much they loved it.
There's different songs involved in that song. I know some of you are a little weird.
But moving on to Out of Touch, which is a big fan favorite, and for good reason because it's such a great song. For me personally, I just love how it highlights mental health and just, it talks about a certain dynamic in a relationship that I feel like people just don't talk about enough. In an interview that she did with Rolling Stone, she says that this song was a big step for her in finding her sound as a new artist, and that it was the first one that she recorded at the start of her new music era. This was also the song that she closed her tour with, and I didn't get any footage of her introing the song, but she was also in a rush because she was talking too much and she had to get off the stage. Yeah, this one I feel like kind of speaks for itself. If you haven't heard it, highly recommend going and listening to it on YouTube. I feel like this is one that just like baffles me as to how she couldn't relate to it anymore because it's just, yeah, a very good song. Highly recommend.
Out of Touch is one of my all-time favorite songs that I've written because it is very important to me. It's very honest about sort of like being in a dark place, feeling out of control, feeling less than, and then still asking the person that you love to hopefully like be there in the morning. To hear it covered so beautifully and also so passionately is like moving as hell to me.
Moving on to Remember Me, this was her opener for the tour, so I also don't have any footage of her introing it because she opened with it. But in an interview that she did with MTV when the song came out, she says that she likes it because it's able to transport you somewhere else. She says that it's kind of a dark and teenage dream love story that she's always dreamt about, and she likes how the song highlights the good and the ugly of a relationship. But moving on, this song was also her first collab, which I thought maybe that's why she didn't like the song anymore. Like maybe she didn't want the song to be a collab and her label kind of pushed that. But then she says in this interview that song didn't make sense for her until she had Bia on the track, and so I guess that would not be the case. But nonetheless, I love this song. It's one of my favorites from her, and yeah, I'm very happy I downloaded it so I can still listen to it every single day. Now moving on to We Belong, and I feel like this song is very important in particular because of the LGBTQ plus undertones that it has. In an interview she did with Out Magazine, she talks about the lyric video in particular and how important it was for her that it featured more than just hetero couples, and how the song was able to become a profound moment in her own personal journey to be able to talk about her sexuality openly to others. And then there's also the fact that she had the bi-colors featured in the lyric video and in some alternative cover art. I also found this one interview that she did with Paper Magazine when I was researching this song, in which when she is asked if her music has kind of changed based off of her own personal music taste, this is her response. I'll put it up on the screen if you want to pause it, but I feel like the main takeaway is the fact that she says that she would still release everything in the exact same way today. Or I guess not today, but whenever this interview had taken place. But anyways, back to We Belong, I just wanted to also mention that this music video is probably my favorite one that she's ever done, and so I'm very sad that it is now gone forever. And so last but certainly not least, we have Lazy Baby, which is arguably her most successful song that came before Boyfriend. And I remember before the song came out, she would talk a lot about how she didn't like breakup songs, and she did still in interviews for this song too, which is why instead she would call it like a personal page turn or emblem for her. And she really stresses the fact that it's not a breakup song, but a breakthrough song, and that she even played it for Thomas and that he loved it.
I hate a breakup song, and I went through a pretty intense breakup at the end of 2020, and I wanted to be able to turn that page and start fresh. Like I keep saying, it's not a breakup song, it's a breakthrough song. It's something that like it helps you to maybe step into a part of the breakup process that you're not in yet, and it like ushers you into a sort of a healthier mindset where you can focus on yourself. That's what it did for me, and that's what I'm really hoping it does for my fans.
And it really does make you wonder, like, was that all a lie? Like, was her label just like, listen, you just broke up with Thomas, and so now we need a breakup song? And then Dove was just like, oh shoot, I've always talked about how I don't like breakup songs, and so I'll talk about how this isn't a breakup song, but it's a breakthrough song. But it is really hard when this does sound so genuine, like for her to talk about how she just went through a bad breakup and this song came out of a necessity for her, like she needed it. It was kind of therapeutic in a way. But But I honestly, at this point, like, I don't know what to believe. So I feel like there's two obvious conclusions we can make here. Either Dove was lying back then when these songs were coming out and she didn't actually resonate with these songs like she said she did, and she was just doing what her label wanted her to do, like she said in her most recent interview with Official Charts UK, or she's lying now and her label wanted to remove all of her previous work so that Boyfriend could be her debut. And then I guess there is also a third option that like maybe she honestly just doesn't resonate with them anymore and like something changed in between the past 6 months that like now she just doesn't like them anymore and wants them erased from existence. So let's explore the idea of her lying about her past music to kind of just see what sort of purpose that would serve.
Because I think it's bad business. I think it's bad for your soul.
So how would she benefit from having her previous works erased? Well, first of all, it makes Boyfriend look like her debut single. And that's a good thing because the song is charting. None of her previous songs did that. And so her and her label can pretend that she was a hit on the charts since the beginning, even though that actually was not the case. But here's my take on this as someone who has absolutely zero experience in the music industry, but nonetheless, first of all, I personally feel like Boyfriend sounds exactly the same as her previous works. If Boyfriend didn't blow up on TikTok like it did, I don't think she would have deleted her previous songs. She would have gone on, as usual, released her EP like we were promised, and then that would have been the end of it. Because like I said, I don't personally feel like Boyfriend is that different from her previous songs. Honestly, if I were to rank them all, it would probably be near the end of the list. I have nothing against it personally, like I love that it is a queer anthem and that it's doing well, and I guess that it's not really like made for me in that sense. I just personally feel like some of her other songs were more complex and less repetitive. And it also doesn't help that I now feel like it's the reason that her other songs were taken away. Like I almost blame it in a way, which it just made me come to resent it. All of this is to say that like if one of her other songs were to blow up on TikTok tomorrow, would she re-release it? Or if one of her other songs like Lazy Baby or We Belong blew up like this one did, would she have still deleted all the songs that came before it? Like, I don't know, but it's something to think about. I think it also begs the question as to why now they are getting all of this exposure, you wouldn't want people to have your other works to listen to. It would help you boost your streams. Now more people are going to discover all of these songs that kind of flew under the radar. But now instead, whenever someone goes to your profile, all they're going to see is Disney. Which honestly, I feel like she probably would have deleted too if she did have the power, so thank God she doesn't. And it also makes you wonder, like, is Boyfriend a one-hit wonder? Like, will the fad fade down? Will people even care about her follow-up single or the album? Like, in October of 2021, she had 44 million Insta followers, and now she has 46. Like, that's honestly not that big of a growth. Like, will this actually gain her more fans, or are people only caring about this one song? It also makes me think about all of the other artists who have changed their sound over the years, but that doesn't mean that they gatekeep their old music from me. Like, it's still out there for me to go and see their journey and progression as an artist. I also don't like it because it suggests that there's no room for growth from here. Like, Bloodshot and Waste came out 4 years ago, and so let's say 4 years from now, is she gonna delete Boyfriend because she's grown and it doesn't represent who she is anymore? Like, no, that sounds crazy. And so I feel like that is your answer right there. So in conclusion, I feel like if this was a move chosen by her label, that's fine. Obviously, she has no control over that, but I just feel like the statement she made about it just really did not sit right with me. Honestly, the main reason why I'm making this video was just because I could not stop thinking about this situation. Like, I feel like I text my friend Emma about this like almost every day. Everyone around me has heard the rant about Dove, and it just, I needed to get this out of my system. And her comment about like who the music belongs to just kind of pissed me off, because in my personal opinion, it belongs to the fans. Like, once you release it out into the world, it's no longer yours. Like, you gave it away, so to speak. But I honestly think the main thing that really upset me about this situation is that she never addressed us, the fans, specifically. Like, she ignored our comments about it for over a month, and she only answered the question when she was put in a spot where she had to. And then she even makes a comment about how that interviewer was the first person to ask her that, when we've all been begging her for an explanation, like I said, for over a month. And then obviously I have memories attached to each single and each release. Like, I've been here from the start, and it hurts to know that like now those memories are tainted because I don't know what to believe. I also think it's important to note that she has 2 live shows scheduled in London next month, because I'm just like, what on earth is she gonna perform? She deleted her discography. Like, I assume she's probably gonna sing a bunch of new stuff, but it also like would kind of be funny if she just got on stage and sang Boyfriend on repeat. But I also kind of feel bad for anybody going to that show, because I would want her to sing the old songs when I know she's not going to. Also, for my fellow stans of her unreleased song Whole Body, it does look like she does still like that one. She liked to comment about performing that one next month, so I guess that song is in the clear, which is good. And then also the other song, Math, or Do the Math, we don't have a name for it yet, that she posted on TikTok before Boyfriend blew up. It does seem like she does still like that one as well, and so that's good. It's just hard because it's like I don't know where to draw the line, like which one she does resonate with still and which one she doesn't. And then yeah, I just keep going back to the fact that she never posted anything on Twitter or something before she took all of these songs away. It honestly just feels like a big slap in the face to her existing fans. Like, she doesn't care about what these songs meant to us, and she only cares about being on the charts and being successful and creating this new image for herself. It honestly just paints her in a really bad light and just encourages pirating. Like, I'm sure all of her fans just downloaded the songs the minute that we found out that they were gonna be gone forever. And so yeah, I'm not too sure if anyone else really cares about this as much as I do, but I just needed to get this off my chest, and maybe I'll stop thinking about it 24/7. I mean, obviously I do still love Dove. I don't think her Hold on Me is gonna be able to be released that easily, but I don't think I'll ever be able to forget about this, and I'm probably not alone in that. And so yes, that is all I have to say for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I'll talk to you very soon. I'm just so shocked that nobody's talking about this. I feel like people should be talking about this. Like, this is crazy. Like, I know it was only like 7 or what songs that she deleted, but that's a lot of songs in my book. Like, that could basically make an album, you know? I don't know. I'm still upset. Like, my whole point about making this video is that hopefully I will not be upset anymore. I can just let it go. That did not happen. Anyways, that's all from me. Bye, guys.